Right, so the confusing OLED iPad reports continue, and today's report is regarding the OLED iPads being delayed due to a supply issue. And so let's delve into it, but first make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so the tidbit's coming from a Korean source who's not very credible, so do take this with a massive grain of salt. But anyways, using the powers of Google Translate, this is what the source says. They say that Apple's been in contact with major iPad suppliers negotiating prices for these OLED displays. And I believe we did hear about this a week or so ago because The Elect told us that Samsung Display and LG Display were making two-stack structure OLED displays for a future iPad. But according to this source and what I'm understanding from this translated piece of info, they claim that Apple and their suppliers haven't been looking eye to eye in terms of prices, and so as a result of that, we might not see the first OLED iPads by 2023. In fact, at the end of the statement, they mentioned that this is already in a state of self-judgment that it is difficult. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I do think that does suggest Apple's in a sticky situation where the fate of these OLED iPads is really unknown. So if this tidbit is to be believed, what can be Apple's next steps? Well, of course, the first straightforward answer would be to cancel OLEDs and just continue with mini LED on the iPad. Because for the most part, mini LED panels are pretty good. They have inky blacks, they have very high brightness, and I'm pretty sure most people with these mini LED iPads are pretty happy with the displays. Really, the only con that people mentioned were the blooming effect, and that was actually fixed with the MacBook Pros, and so I'm sure that Apple's going to implement this fix with the next generation iPad Pros. And so yeah, maybe mini LED is here to stay on the iPad Pros, and then we jump straight to micro LED when that's ready in a few years. Also, do remember that Apple's invested a ton of money into mini LED production, so I do think there is a pretty good chance the tech is here to stay with the iPads and the Macs. Though obviously the second option Apple has is move on to a new supplier and negotiate prices with them. So we did have a similar report to this in the past, where Samsung allegedly refused to make these two-stack structure displays because it's a new tech and it would cost a ton of money to implement factory lines to produce this new tech and just wouldn't be worth investing in for one single product, which would be the iPad. Now, this report does not mention which supplier is causing trouble, but I do think there's a fair chance it could be Samsung, and so Apple instead could just work with other suppliers like LG Display and BOE. In fact, I believe there was a report a few days ago that said BOE was going to be supplying more displays to future Apple products, and so that could be the two-stack structure displays we could be seeing in a future iPad Pro. And also do remember that on average, BOE's prices for their displays are much cheaper than the competition, so that could result in no price hike for these OLED iPads, which is a big win for us. And to be honest, I do think Apple wants to move on to OLEDs for the iPad in the very near future, since of course, these two-stack structure displays are going to have 4 times the lifespan and 2 times the brightness of these mini LED panels, so that's going to be a major upgrade. And also do remember that OLED still has advantages over mini LED, such as a faster pixel response time and also better contrast ratio. So yes, while we might not see OLED iPads by 2023, I do still think they're happening and they should be launching within the next few years. Anyways, tell me your thoughts on this report in the comments below. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the card above on details regarding the iPhone 14, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.